You've just finished a performance or a project you poured your entire soul into. Someone walks up, smiles warmly, and tells you that you did an amazing job. To a regulated nervous system, this is a moment of validation. But for you, it triggers a violent physical reaction. Your stomach drops, your chest tightens as if weighted by lead, and a hot, prickly flush of embarrassment creeps up your neck. Before you can even process their kindness, your brain shifts into a panicked defense mode. You look at the floor, wave your hand dismissively, and tell them it was just a stroke of luck, or you quickly pivot the spotlight, insisting that anyone else could have done the work. To an outsider, this looks like incredible modesty. They see you as someone grounded and completely immune to the poison of arrogance. But true humility is a quiet, peaceful state of knowing your own worth. It doesn't require a frantic, aggressive avoidance of positive feedback. What you're actually experiencing is a state of psychological warfare. You are dismantling the praise because, to your internal operating system, a compliment feels like a calculated, dangerous lie. At the center of this reaction is the inner critic, a ruthless dictator that maintains a rigid belief system built on a foundation of profound inadequacy. This monologue plays 24 hours a day, highlighting every mistake and magnifying every perceived flaw until you are fundamentally convinced that you are not enough. This severe allergy to praise is psychological scar tissue. It often begins in childhood, in homes where affection was a rare currency, handed out only when you achieved impossible standards. If you brought home a 99 on a test, you weren't celebrated. You were asked what happened to the missing point. In other cases, praise was actively weaponized, followed immediately by an emotional manipulation or a cruel, sarcastic twist. You learned very early on that when someone says something nice, there is a hidden agenda lurking in the shadows. Your subconscious made a tragic survival calculation. If you criticize yourself first, you can control the pain of rejection. You decided it was safer to be your own worst enemy than to let your guard down and risk being exposed as a fraud later. This heavy layer of emotional armor was designed to protect you, but in your adult life, it has become a mechanism for total isolation. Cognitive dissonance occurs when a genuine compliment violently clashes with the rigid, negative blueprint of your reality. Your brain literally cannot process the positive information because it contradicts the fundamental truth you've accepted about your own worthlessness. Holding these two opposing beliefs, brilliance and failure, at the exact same time creates an agonizing psychological friction. The system simply isn't designed to house both. To resolve this tension, your brain takes the path of least resistance. It decides the person giving the compliment must be lying or blinded by low standards. You deflect the praise because agreeing with them feels like participating in a delusional fraud. But consider the mechanics of a compliment. When someone shares their admiration, they are making themselves vulnerable. By shutting them down, you are effectively slapping a gift out of their hands and telling them their judgment is invalid. Eventually, the people who love you learn that complimenting you is a futile, exhausting task. They stop offering the validation you secretly crave, because it always leads to an argument. This behavior stalls careers when you refuse to take credit for your achievements, and it destroys relationships when you can't believe a partner genuinely desires you. You spend your life scanning their words for deception, pushing them away to avoid the vulnerability of being cherished. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. You push love away because it feels dangerous, and then use the resulting isolation as proof that you were unlovable all along. Breaking this cycle requires a radical rewiring of your nervous system. You cannot fix a lifetime of internal abuse with simple affirmations. You have to change how you respond to the world in real time. The next time someone offers you a genuine compliment, you must fight the survival instinct that begs you to deflect. You have to physically stop the words "it was nothing" from escaping your lips. Instead, do the most terrifying thing possible. Look the person in the eye and simply say, "Thank you." Don't add a disclaimer or redirect the praise. Just let the silence hang there. Your heart will race and your inner critic will scream that you're being arrogant, but you have to sit inside that discomfort. When you refuse to resolve the tension through self-sabotage, you force your brain to find a new way to integrate the information. Every time you accept your own worth, you weaken the automatic pathways of self-hatred, allowing a new connection to solidify. Accepting a compliment is an act of courage. It's the choice to trust someone else's vision of you, even when you're temporarily blinded by your own darkness. The internal voice that calls your success an accident is the only deception you've been living with. It's time to let that rusted armor fall to the floor. You have worked too hard and survived too much to spend your life rejecting the very brilliance you've earned. Let yourself be seen.